All right, guys, so this is lesson 5.1, polynomial functions. So in not the next lesson, but the lesson after that, it's kind of a tough lesson. And this lesson and the next lesson leads you into the tough guy. So just make sure you totally understand all of this stuff, okay? So we're going to graph polynomials today. Okay, we're just going to go right here to this thing, okay? Everybody grab your pencil, and I want you to graph the line y equals x, which looks like that, okay? And then I want you to just do a rough sketch of y equals x to the third. So y equals x to the third looks like this. We did that when we did graphing adjustments. Someone tell me what y equals x to the fifth looks like. Do you know? It looks just like x to the third, right? Except what? What's the difference? Do you know? Let's think about it. If x is 0, 0 to the fifth is a 0, right? If x is a 1, 1 to the fifth is a 1. Negative 1 would be down there. If x is a 2, then y would give me a, hi. Thank you. If x is 2, then 2 to the fifth is 32. Look over here. 2 to the third is 8. So what happens, it just gets much steeper, much faster. So it's the same shape, it just gets steep really fast. Who says I understand that? Okay. Now, you guys, we already talked about end behavior a little bit when we did those graphing adjustments, okay? What I want you to do, people get confused on this, but if I really think that this is a great way to describe it, draw a box right there, okay? And then see the left side of the box, put a dot on the left upper corner or the left lower corner, okay? And then somewhere off to the side, write this down, write left arrow. So your left arrow, you have two options, you guys. You're going to take a line and you're going to point it to the upper left corner of a box, or you're going to point it to the lower left corner of a box. So the left arrow always points left, okay? So if you look at what we just did, look at the left side, guys. Left down, left down, left down. So the end behavior for all three of those graphs is left lower corner because they all go down, okay? Look at the right side, okay? Look at my little box I drew. This is important that you watch this and write this down because people do get confused. Look at this box. I want you to put a dot here in the right upper corner and put a dot in the right lower corner, okay? So the right arrow, okay, write this down somewhere. The right arrow looks like one of two things. It points to the upper right corner of a box or a lower right corner of a box. Those are the only two options. So what's happening on these? Okay, guys, look. Right up, right up, right up. So you come over here right by that arrow. You take the right arrow, point it to the right upper corner, and that's the end behavior, okay? You can't do this, guys. Look, straight down, straight up. A cubic doesn't go vertical. It still goes, you know, there's still a slant to it, okay? Another thing I want you to take note of, guys, look. This x is to the first, this x is to the third, this x is to the fifth. So those are all odd. So if it's odd, it takes on the shape of a cubic, like that. Okay, let's do even, okay? Everybody sketch a parabola right there in that y equals x to the second. What does y equals x to the fourth look like? Tell me, guys. Okay, you guys start plotting some points on that graph, okay? Go ahead. Start plotting it, and you guys come up with what y equals x to the fourth looks like. And then you're going to tell me what you found. Truman, what'd you come up with? Looks just like a parabola, only it's steeper. You're exactly right, okay? So maybe something like that, okay? If you guys respond on this x to the 6, it goes so much smoother. What does y equals x to the 6 look like, you guys? Even steeper, right? Still a parabola, just even steeper. Looks like that, okay? You guys look at the exponents. 2, 4, 6. They're all even. Okay, now I want you to look at the left side. Everybody look. Left up, left up, left up. So the end behavior for an even exponent is left upper corner, left arrow. Now look at the right. This is going to be right up, right up, right up. So you go to the right arrow and it points to the right upper corner of a box. That's it. That's the end behavior. Okay? Who says gotcha? Let's see a pie. Okay, yay. Okay, let's fill out this little box. Okay? This right here, hook those together and just say that's the sign that's out in front. Okay? So, everybody watch this. You have an even exponent, like y equals x to the second, with a positive number in front. That's a parabola. A parabola looks like that. It doesn't matter if it's fourth or sixth or whatever. I just always do second because it's the easiest. So the left, every person in the room, does the left arrow go left up or does it go left down? Which one? Left up. So make sure your arrow looks like that. And then the right, everybody in the room, right up or right down, guys? Right up is correct. Okay? Okay. What about if there's a negative sitting out in front of that x squared? What does that do to your parabola, everybody? Makes it open where? Open down. Everybody in the room, left up or left down? Left down. See how I'm pointing that left lower corner? Right up or right down, everybody? Right down. Yeah, okay. Let's do odd. Write down y equals x to the third. Odd, automatically a cubic, no matter what the odd is. It could be y to the 57th. Who cares? Odd, cubic. Okay? Everybody in the room, left up or left down, you guys? Left down. Right up or right down, everybody? Right up. Okay? Looks like that. Make sure you fill it in. What if there's a negative in front of the x to the third? Does that reflect it across the x? Or does it reflect it across the y? If it's at the front, remember? Which one is it? Tell me, guys. It's the x. Yeah. So look, here's your cubic. Here's your axis, right? Fold it across the x. This up part right here goes down. This down part goes up. So your graph looks like that, the pink. So the left is left up, the right is right down, and you're done. That's it. Okay, who says I totally get that? Okay, look right here. Just look and watch, okay? Is that an acceptable end behavior? Talk to me. No. The left arrow is pointing right. The right arrow is pointing left. Look right here and let me show you something. If that's what a person says, then look what they're saying. Those arrows go on forever. So it would look like that. And then I would connect. Have you ever graphed something in a math class that looks like that? No. That's why it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Okay? All right, let's come over here to these ones right here. Okay, I want you to hook A, B, and C together, and I want you to hook D, E, and F together. You know, if I remember correctly, will you guys listen? Last semester, a few people got confused on this, and it's never happened before. Like, I've never really had people get super confused on this. So just watch closely. You guys look at questions A, B, and C, and compare those to D, E, and F. Do you see how D, E, and F, they're all factored? And A, B, and C, it's like you took those things and you FOIL them and distribute them and you simplified them all out, and that's what A, B, and C look like. Who says I can see the difference? Okay, great. End behavior, okay? Look at question A. See the +1? I want you to get rid of it. Just very lightly cross through it. See the -4x squared? Get rid of it. Those things affect the graph, for sure, but they don't determine the end behavior. It's the biggest exponent that determines the end behavior. So just look at that big exponent. It's odd, so that is cubic. So it would look like that. But I have a negative, so that takes that cubic and flips it the other way. So it's actually going to be like that guy right there. So the end behavior, the left arrow points left up, the right arrow points right down, and that is my answer. Okay, who says I'm totally good? Let me see how you're feeling. Okay, great. Okay, look at question B. Do I look at the 5x to the 4th or do I look at the -7x, everybody? 5x to the 4th, because it's the biggest exponent. Even parabola. Do I flip it and make it up and down, guys? Yes or no? No, no negative. So my end behavior is left up, right up, and I'm done. That's it. Okay, biggest exponent, 4th. Even, parabola. Negative, down. So this is what it's going to look like right here. So my left arrow, left down, right arrow, right down. There's my answer. Done. Who says got it? Let me see. Okay, great. Go off to the side, and I want you to write down the words. Look at the biggest exponent. Okay, look at the next one. You don't have to multiply it out. But if I did, my biggest exponent would be an x to the, tell me everybody, 3rd. How'd you get that? You got next, you got next, you got next, okay? Now I want to show you something. I know it's x to the 3rd. I know you all knew that. I just want to show you something right here. See the x and the -2? What dominates the x? Why? Because it has the biggest exponent. See the x and the 1? X dominates. X and -5? X dominates. So what do you have? Write this down for me, okay, just so you see it. X, X, X. You add the exponents. That gives you an x to the 3rd. Are there going to be other things over there when you multiply it out, like an x to 2nd, x to 1st, constant? Yeah, who cares? Because all I do is look at the big guy, okay? So odd means cubic, looks like that. There's no negative in front, therefore there's no reflection. So the left arrow goes left down, the right arrow goes right up. There's my end behavior. Okay, who says gotcha? Let me see how you're feeling. Okay, great. Look at question E. Now, see this negative right here, guys? That is included. So I want everybody to write down a negative. What dominates out of the second parenthesis? The x. And it's raised to the 3rd. So that's going to give me an x to the 3rd. What dominates here? An x. What's the exponent? X squared. Then what do I do to those exponents? Do I multiply and get a 6 or do I add and get a 5? Which one? Add and get a 5. Okay. Odd. Cubic. So it's going to look like this. Reflection because of the negative, so it actually looks like that. Okay. End behavior, left up, right down, done. Who says gotcha? Let's see. Okay, yay. You guys do F by yourself. All good, Owen?
Yeah, I would fill out the exception application thing. She's going to send it to me for today.
Okay. So are they, do you still have to pay the late fee, or are they trying to get you out of it?
She said I'll probably still have to pay the late fee.
And it's $40?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's okay.
So keep doing your thing. You guys do it, okay? So Owen, did you appear on my roster and then they dropped you because you didn't pay?
I think so.
Okay. Because I know you were on mine. I'm like, either I messed up and checked him off, or he was there and dropped. So maybe I don't have to have guilt. Do you release me of guilt?
I release you.
Okay, thanks, bud. Okay, question F. The X dominates, X dominates, X dominates. This guy's to the first, this guy's to the second, this guy's to the third. Add them together, 6. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. That's a parabola that opens up, left up, right up, done. Who says I got that right? Okay, yay. Go off to the side, and I want you to write the words, add the exponents. Add the exponents. Okay, all right, here we go with question 2. Okay, we've already talked about that first sentence. A function can't have 2 y-intercepts. Y is here. Can't have 2. Why? Because then it's not a function anymore. Okay? Don't worry about the second one. Let's just do this. Okay? Find the x and y-intercepts. Okay, everybody write down x-intercept and then write down y-intercept. So to find an x-intercept, you're going to let y be 0. To find the y-intercept, you're going to let x be a 0. You guys look at the equation. Which one's easier to find? Let's do the easy one first. X or y, which one's easier? The y for sure. The y's easy because look, if x is a 0, 0, 0, 0. What is it? 0, 0. Literally, I don't have to show any work for that. If 0, 0 is a y-intercept, then finish my sentence. It's also an x-intercept. 0, 0 hits the x-axis and the y-axis. Am I done? Is that my only one? No. You can't just do that and stop, but anyway, let y be 0. Everybody go x to the third minus x to the second minus 2x equals 0. Can I use the quadratic formula right now? You cannot use the quadratic formula. Everybody freeze. People do this. Why can't you use the quadratic formula? It's an x to the third. Quadratic is x to the second. Who says gotcha? Okay, tell me what to do. Take out an x. Everybody has an x. When you take out an x, you're left with x to the second minus x minus 2 equals 0. Then you factor, so it goes to an x. X to the second goes to x and an x. The 2 goes to a 2 and a 1. Signs are different. Biggest is the negative. Some of you, on your test, you're going to get frustrated with me when you grade your test. I know how they're going to grade, and I'm grading the same way. And yes, it's frustrating, but you have to get used to it. Some of you did not write this line. This times this is 0. So that means x equals 0, negative 1, positive 2. You didn't write that line, but then you went straight to here and wrote those as ordered pairs. I took off a point because you didn't write x equals blah, 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 blah. Okay? So just know the expectation. Okay? Okay, that's it. Let's do question B. Okay? Everybody write down x-intercept, y-intercept. They must be ordered pairs. To find the x-intercept, let y be 0. To find the y-intercept, let x be a 0. You guys on this one, I think finding the x-intercept is easier. Because look, if you just set that equation equal to 0, which you do have to show that, then you get x equals negative 1, and you get x equals positive 1. So that was easy because it was already factored. So I'm going to write this as negative 1 comma 0. You can't do plus or minus, just so you know, okay? And then positive 1 comma 0, and you're done. Here's a big question. Look right here. Would you ever put a U in between those? No. The only time you use a U is when you're doing what, everybody? Interval. Perfect, whoever said that. And this is not interval notation. I bet they'll take off everything if you do that. To find the y-intercept, let x be 0. So everybody write down 0 plus 1 squared times 0 minus 1 squared is equal to 0. You can put it in your calculator, you can do it in your head, you can do whatever you want. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 squared is 1. 0 minus 1 is a negative 1, negative 1 squared is 1. So that gives me, oh, that should not be equals 0, that should be equals y, sorry. Make that a y. So you get y equals 1. So it's 0, comma 1, and you're done. Okay? All right, question C. Let's make a list. You guys, you can't, you know what some people do? They'll find the x-intercepts and y-intercepts, but they don't differentiate. They don't say these are the x's and these are the y's. And for sure you're going to lose points if you do that. So I literally expect you to write x-intercept, y-intercept like that. Okay? So differentiate. Okay, everybody freeze because we have a question. Go ahead, sweetheart. Are you sure?
Yeah.
That happens a lot because you guys are so smart. You have a question and then you think and you're like, okay, I know the answer. Okay, x-intercept, y-intercept. I think the easiest for sure is the x-intercept. Look, guys, cross out that y, make it an equal 0. What does that give you? X equals negative 3, positive 2, negative 1. That's not how you write your answer. So it's negative 3, comma 0, 2, comma 0, negative 1, comma 0. Done. Y-intercept, x is a 0. Okay, write this down for me. 0 plus 3 times 0 minus 2 squared times 0 plus 1 to the third is equal to y. Figure that out however you may. The answer is y equals 12. I would definitely consider just putting that in my calculator. And I think it's easy to do, so we don't need to practice. And remember to write that as an ordered pair. Okay? Yes, honey?
Will we get docked if we do like x equals negative 3 to negative 1? Because don't we have to do the x separate?
No. Okay, so, and I feel like I've confused you maybe a little. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're finding a domain and x can't be 4 and x can't be 3 on a totally different problem, this is not acceptable. So it's the not equal to where they don't like you to put them together. So then what we said was, so that you don't have to keep track of which one's okay and which one's not, then let's just always write them separately as x equals negative 3, x equals 2, x equals negative 1. Do you have to do that? No. But if you do, then you don't have to remember which one's okay and which one's not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Okay, wonderful. Okay. Tell me when we get to the one that's highlighted. Okay? Okay, is it just a times 1?
No.
Times 3? Woo! This is a big one. But I feel good because I feel like everybody's understanding, so that's a good thing. Okay. X-intercepts. Even, bounce, odd, cross, okay? Everybody take your pencil and up above each of those, I want you to draw an XY axis. And I want you to go out to a 2 on each of those. And then I want you to put a dot on the 2. I want to make sure you know what bounce looks like and what cross looks like. Okay, so look. Let's say you're down here. You could be up. It doesn't matter. I'm just randomly choosing down. If you're down here and you approach that and it's a bounce, it hits it and it comes back down like that. That's bounce. It hits the x-axis and it bounces back down. Cross looks like this. If you're down here, it crosses through to the other side. Okay? Who says I understand that? I understand that. Okay, so even means bounce, odd means cross. Go back to question A. See those x-intercepts we found? 0, 0, negative 1, 0, and 2, 0. We're going to decide which ones bounce and which ones cross, okay? So stick right here with me. The 0 came from here, this guy right here. What's that exponent? 1. 1 is odd. Odd means cross. Put a C right there. The negative 1 came from this guy, that yellow. What is the outside exponent? 1. 1 is odd. Odd means cross. The 2 came from this pink guy. Outside exponent is 1. 1 is odd. Odd means cross. They all cross. Let's go to this one. We're going to graph these in just a second, okay? The -1 came from here. Didn't mean to scribble, sorry. Came from here. Outside exponent's 2. 2 is even. Even means bounce. The 1 came from here. Outside exponent's a 2. 2 is even. Even means bounce. Who says I'm with you? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Okay, question C. The 3 came from here, odd, -3 came from there, odd cross. 2 came from here, even, bounce. -1 came from here, odd, cross. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Form a polynomial whose real zeros are given. Leave your answer in factored form. Okay, everybody write y equals. You have to have a y equals. You guys, if you write down the word, up above here, write down the word 0. There are literally like 5 words that mean the same thing. 0 is one of them. Shout out another one. X-intercept, thank you. Write that down. I think there are 4 that are pretty commonly used. Give me another one. You're exactly right. Root. And that one's kind of rare. And that's the one that people usually forget. There's one more. What is it? Solution. They all mean the same. Same thing. It means let y be 0. It's on the x-axis. Okay? Okay, so if you have a solution of 2, you have a factor of x minus 2. Because if I said x minus 2 equal to 0, I get a 2. If you have a solution of -1, then you have a factor of, everybody tell me, x plus 1. If you have a solution of 0, then what do you have? Some people do this, x minus 0. I would give you credit. It's just so awkward. What's x minus 0? That's just x, right? So instead of putting it at the end, I'm actually going to put it at the beginning. Okay? And that's wrong. That answer is wrong. Why is it wrong? Who's talking to me and say it loud? Go ahead, honey. Supposed to be 4th. It doesn't tell me which one's bounce and which one cross. So all I have to do is add one more exponent to one of them. Now it's a 4th degree. Thank you, honey. Okay, next one. Y equals, x equals 2, gives you a factor of x minus 2. X equals -2, gives you a factor of x plus 2. X equals 3, gives you a factor of x minus 3. It's not right. What's the degree of that yellow answer right there, right now? 3. What do I need it to be? 5. How many am I missing? 2 of them. So I can make this guy go from a 1 to a 3. I could make a couple of them a 2. It doesn't matter. Add the exponents, get a 5. That's all that matters. Okay? Okay. This is big right here. Turning points. Did we highlight this? I think we highlighted them on examples to come, right? Okay. Write this down for me, okay? Just squeeze in this example. This is an easy problem, and it has popped up recently a lot on midterms and finals. Okay, everybody write this down. Y equals -3, x to the 7th, plus 5x to the 4th, minus 2. What's the most number of turning points that that can cap? Here's a turning point. Look, you're graphing and it turns. You're graphing and it turns. You're graphing and it turns. So that graph right there has 3 turning points. Turning points are so easy. Look what you do. Take the biggest exponent, 7, subtract 1, Your answer's 6. All you have to do. How amazing if that's on your midterm, right? And you just remember that. Biggest exponent minus 1, done. Home run. Okay? Okay, here we go. Example 4. So here's what it's going to look like. Okay? Now, let's just say that. I'm just going to say that. Okay, question A, find all intercepts. Okay, everybody write down x-intercept. Over here, write y-intercept. Even if there aren't any, you have to write x-intercept, none. Y-intercept, none. So you have to list it. Okay, to find the x-intercept, let y be 0. To find the y-intercept, let x be 0. So if you let y be 0, cross out that f of x, set it equal to 0. What do you get? X equals 0, 2, and negative 2. Notice that the exponents are all 1s. So we're going to have 0, 0, crossing, 2, 0, crossing, negative 2, 0, crossing. You guys, if 0, 0 is an x-intercept, then finish my sentence. It's a y-intercept. Am I done with y-intercepts now? Could you have more than one y-intercept, everybody? You can't. Then it's not a function. So am I done? Yeah, I'm done. Okay. Question B, I want you to circle it, and I want you to write down the words wait until the end. So I am not doing that yet. I'm going to skip it. Okay? Okay, question C. Determine the end behavior. Okay? So guys, you have an x to the first, you have an x to the first, and you have an x to the first. See right here where it says power function? Highlight power function and draw like an arrow like that. So the power function is y equals x to the third. You have to have the y equals with it. And it's just saying what's the parent that tells me the end behavior, basically. So this is an answer. What's the end behavior? Well, it's going to be a cubic, so it's going to look like that. So the end behavior is left down and right up. So that's end behavior, that's power function, but we're still not done. What's the maximum number of turning points? Everybody go TP. Turning points. Somebody shout out the answer. What's the maximum number of turning points? 2. Biggest exponent, 3, minus 1. Okay, now we're going to graph it. Here we go. Everybody go to 0, 0, put a dot, and put the letter C. Then go to 2, 0, put a dot, and put a C. Negative 2, 0, put a dot, and put a C. End behavior is the left is down. So you've got to be like this. Guys, look. The left is down. You come up, you hit it, you cross through. It's going to turn at some point, come down, hit that guy, cross through. It's going to turn at some point, hit over, cross through. I ended up, I was supposed to end up, and I'm good. If someone did this, watch this. If somebody messed up and they were like that, wrong, and then they were doing their graph and they're like, oh, what do I do? And then they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to swing down. I know that's wrong. The second I look at it, I know it's wrong. Someone tell me how you know it's wrong. How do you know? Look right here. You say you have an x-intercept right there. Is that listed up there in any of the x-intercepts? No, you can't turn again. You can't turn again because there's no more x-intercepts that are listed over there. So you know something is messed up. Who says I understand that? Okay. Question B, part B is silly. I'm going to put it to the side of the graph. You put it up in part B. See those 3 x-intercepts? You just divided the x-axis into 4 pieces. Look right here. And maybe even grab, I don't know if you have 4 different things to color with, but it might help you to see this. So look, here's a section, here's a section, here's a section. See all 4 of those sections? You have to test every one of those sections. So take your pencil and make a table and choose an X value in the green section, like maybe a -3. Choose a value in the yellow section, -1. Choose a value in the pink section, 1. Choose a value in the purple section, 3. Does it matter what you choose? Nope. Just make sure it's in that section, okay? Everybody grab your calculator. Now you're just going to do a table. Everybody go -3, store, enter. So I just stored a -3 in for X. Now I'm going to put this in my calculator. I'm going to show you a cool trick that's going to help you save you a lot of time, okay? So just listen, okay? Everybody hit membar enter, parenthesis, membar enter -2, close it, parenthesis, membar enter +2, close it, enter, and I got -15. So come to the table and write in -15. Now I'm going to show you a trick for the rest of them. You guys ready? Let's do -1. Only push the buttons I tell you, okay? White negative button, 1, store, enter. Then I want you to hit the up arrow. Do you see how now you're back on top of that equation? When I hit enter, the calculator's going to recompute it, this time with X being a -1. So hit enter, and I got 3. Let's do the next one. Everybody go 1, store, enter. Up, enter, -3. Let's do the next one. 3, store, enter, up, enter, 15. That's all you have to do for part B. A lot of people mess up on it, though. I'll show you why in a second. What this means is, if X is a -3, your graph is down here somewhere. If X is a -1, it's up high. So you're trying to tell them it's above the X-axis on this one. 1 -3, 3 15, done. So you're proving if it's up or down. Who says gotcha? Let's see. Okay, great. Okay, question 5. Okay, label these. Everybody go x-intercept, y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, you let y be 0, so just set that thing equal to 0. Everybody write down x equals -1, +1. Ordered pairs, -1, 0, 1, 0. The exponents are 2's, evens. Even means bounce. So those are both bouncing. To find the y-intercept, let x be 0. So everybody go 0 + 1 squared times 0 - 1 squared is equal to y. So that means y is 1. So that ordered pair is 0, 1. Circle B and tell yourself to wait. Do that at the end. Question C, end behavior. You guys, you have a y equals, you have an x squared and an x squared. That's y equals x to the 4th. That's your power function. It has to be there, and so does the y equals. It can't just be x to the 4th. End behavior, parabola that opens up. So it's going to be left up, right up. There's my end behavior. Turning points. I think turning points has the highest probability of being on the test of pretty much this whole problem. What's the number of turning points? 3. 4 - 1 is a 3. Okay, let's graph it. Okay, so you've got -1, 0, 1, 0. Put a dot on both those and put B's for bouncing. The y-intercept is 0, 1. That's right here. You guys, since there's no tick marks, I would label that 0, 1. Okay? And then the left part of the graph is up. So you know that's going to look like that. Okay? You graph it. Okay, look forward and see if your graph matches mine. So it comes down, hits it, bounces, hits that, turns, hits that, bounces, Heads up. I ended up. I was supposed to end up, so I'm feeling good. Who says gotcha? Okay. Watch me do part B. Watch right here. Just everybody look forward and don't write this down, okay? Okay, I'm going to go -3, store, enter. Then I'm going to go into that equation, parenthesis, membar enter +1, close at x squared, parenthesis, membar enter -1, close at x squared, enter, and I get 64. Don't write this down. -2, store, enter, up, enter, 9. 3, store, enter, up, enter, 64. Wrong. Biggest mistake that people make right here on part B. Why is it wrong? Someone talk to me.
For the second, like in between, it doesn't go to negative.
What do you say it again?
Because like, don't you have to do the 3 sections?
Okay.
And the second section doesn't go to negative.
The second section, I didn't test. I tested the green section twice. This is in green and in green. Nothing's in yellow. This guy right here is in pink. So this would be a -1 because you didn't ever test the yellow region. Who says I understand what you're saying? Okay, good. So you would only need one of those, and then you would do a 0, which is in the yellow section, right? And it would be 0, comma, and then it would be 1, and that would be a good graph. Okay, is 6 our last one? Yeah, it is. What do you think about doing 6 all by yourself? Do you feel comfortable with that? Do it, okay? Let's do it, and then I want to see how you feel about that, okay? When I call your name, just raise your hand. Keep working, but raise your hand, okay? Please. Megan Taylor. Kenzie T. Lindy. Cambria. Emily P. Adrian Hill. Lexi P. Denise, are you done, honey? With corrections? Okay. How nice, huh?
Yeah.
Tanner. Megan H. Bailey.
Which one?
Arnold. Lance. There, this one. Brown, are you done? You're done? Okay. Grace. Jaden. Ellie. Corinne. All done? Oh. Bailey W. Sherman. Kennedy. Isabel. Landon. Alberly. Paige. Excuse me. Did everybody get their test done? Okay. Everyone in here has taken the test already, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do it. Can I do it? Who says give me 30 more seconds? Okay. Only 30. That's all I'm giving you. Okay, everybody look right here and see if you got it right, okay? So don't worry about your test for just a sec. Just give me like 1 more minute of your time, okay? So to find an x-intercept, you let that be a 0. You have to write x equals -1, +2, -3, and then come over here and write those as ordered pairs, okay? On the -1, exponents even, that's bounce. On the 2, exponents odd, that's cross. On the -3, exponents odd, that's cross. To find the y-intercept, let x be 0. So you're going to go 0 + 1 to the second, 0 - 2 to the third, 0 + 3 equals y. That's going to give me y equals -24. Am I right? -24? Okay. I'm going to skip part B. Part C, you're going to have an x to the second, an x to the third, and an x to the first. So your power function is y equals x to the 6th. And behavior, it's going to be a parabola that opens up, so it's left up, right up. Turning point, 6 - 1, 5. Okay, now when I graph it, I'm going to go -1 right there, put a B, 2, 0, put a C, -3 right there, put a C. My left is up, so it's going to be up, cross through, come down, hit it, bounce, come down, come there, cross through, end up. I know I can't swing again, and I was ended up and I was supposed to end up. Okay? Yes.
So for the y-intercept, would you try like to go down to -20?
Okay, so to be honest with you, they're not very picky about your y values. But I'm glad you said that, honey, because it was a -24, right? Which would be like off the page, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would just put a dot and I would label it, and I think that'd be safe. And I know the units don't match up. They're just not picky about it at all, okay? Okay, part B, very quickly, okay? I have to have something from here, 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 and here, okay? Yellow region, -4. Green, -2. Pink, 1. Purple, 3, okay? So I'm going to go -4, store, enter. I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to go parenthesis, membar, enter, +1, close it, x squared. Parenthesis, membar, enter, -2, close it, raise it to the third. Parenthesis, membar, enter, +3, close it, enter. And I got 1,944. 44. Now I'm going to go -2, store, enter, up, enter, -64. 1, store, enter, up, enter, -16. 3, store, enter, up, enter, 96. Done. That's part B. Okay. Who says I did fine? Let me see. Okay. Yay. That's it. So we still have like 20 minutes. So that's wonderful. Everybody work and start getting these corrections done.